Nobody does it, Bennett. Yes, I've gone and said it. Movies and games, some things that are lame. Nobody does it, Bennett.
Good evening and welcome. There are some superb movies ahead on Movie Review Universe. Next time, we'll join Sam Neill as he travels to an island that's right up his alley in the 1993 film Jurassic Park. Right now though, it's time for The Phantom. Hello, and welcome to Nobody Does It Bennett, Movie Review Universe, or MRU for short, for our review and unique coverage of The Phantom from 1996. I am your host, The Greg Bennett Experience, and along for this wild ride is Jeff. Jeff, are you pumped for this one?
You know I am. The Phantom's my favourite, man. I've been waiting for it since before you even announced you were doing this.
Yeah, I thought, well, we'll do one for you, Jeff, just, I've had my picks the first few times. Let's get other people's views in here and see how we can track this film. So what we're going to do firstly is give you our general thoughts on The Phantom. Then we will go through the film, giving you our thoughts on the film as we go along. I said film twice there. We will also be reenacting certain scenes from the movie as we go along. I put film, but I decided not to say film a third time.
And by certain scenes, he means like half the film. The pages we're looking at here are about as big as the first Harry Potter book.
Hey, I'm like, if we're going to do this, let's just have fun and let's do half the film. Some voices might be accurate to the character, but probably not. Let's be real, most of them will be weird and bad voices. If you'd like to write into the show, who knows, we might read it on air. You can, by going to Nobody Does It Bennett's Facebook page. Or you can hit us up on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. That's NobodyDIBennett. So, Jeff, you know so much about the history of The Phantom. Do you want to give us a brief kind of idea of what The Phantom is and where he's come from?
It's one of those things, when you look on the internet, you'll see that there's quite a few different opinions. But The Phantom is actually the first costume superhero with supposed powers, because people believe he has immortality even though he doesn't. So he is the first one like that from, I think it was 1936, I want to say.
So he beats out Superman and Batman.
Beats out, Superman and Batman, and he also beats out Captain America. But he's not the first costumed hero. The first costumed hero, as far as I can tell, is Zorro, who was 1919 the year 1919. For those of you who don't know him very well, his comics are very popular, but it just depends on your type of interests as to whether you've heard of him or not.
He's in the same comic book same comic universe as Flash Gordon, I believe, as well.
He was originally. I don't know if Flash Gordon is now DC or not, but Phantom is.
Oh, it's Phantom DC now.
Yep.
Oh.
Possibly either DC bought out Phantom or they bought out the comic that owned Phantom, the rights to him, because there's a couple of comics now with the DC logo in the corner.
Interesting, because maybe they went with that, because I got another question later on where kind of compared like a lot of Phantom to Black Panther's origin, where they've kind of borrowed a lot from the Phantom lore. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I've got here, Billy Zane is an interesting choice to play the Phantom, but yeah, it was a big movie for him. Kind of like in the 90s, I don't know if I'd say Billy Zane would be my number one choice for a hero, but he doesn't do a too bad a role in this.
Yeah, I actually can't remember what the first thing that was that I saw him in, but when I watched The Phantom for the first time, I thought, yeah, he fits pretty well, and I really enjoy his acting.
Well, the thing you would have seen him in, you wouldn't have realised he was in, was Back to the Future. He's one of Biff's lackeys in Back to the Future.
Oh, really? Huh, interesting. Yep, okay.
He was actually also originally cast in the Patrick Swayze role for Dirty Dancing, but they couldn't dance. So they actually went with Swayze instead. I think Swayze was actually originally the #1 choice, but he had knee injuries from previous sports careers. So they went for Billy Zane, but then they realized he couldn't dance, so they went back to Swayze.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was also in a movie called Dead Calm, which has New Zealand's own Sam Neill and Australia's own Nicole Kidman.
Oh, right.
Interesting film. And, of course, he also did Titanic around this time.
Yeah, was this before or after Titanic? Because
It came out in 96. I'm not sure if it was filmed before Titanic or not, because Titanic came out at the end of 95, and this came out after it. But sometimes they make the movie early, then...
I don't know if I saw Titanic when it first came out. No, I didn't. So I couldn't tell you. It must be Back to the Future that I first saw him in and thought, he's not bad.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is actually in this movie as well, in one of her earliest roles. This is before the movie's Entrapment, which kind of set her alight with Sean Connery, and The Mask of Zorro.
That's the other one I was thinking of.
Catherine Zeta-Jones going through the lasers.
Yeah, Entrapment.
Iconic scene, and obviously this is before she met Michael Douglas as well, her future husband. Christy Swanson, who plays Diana in this, is actually the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well. She was in Buffy in 1990, I believe. Did this in 96. They were all trying to make her a big kind of star in this movie, but...
Yeah, didn't go the way she would hoped, I'm guessing.
Nah, she hasn't got the charisma, I don't think, or the acting chop. She is outplayed or outacted by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and it's quite obvious.
Oh, yeah, well and truly.
I'm not sure because it's because Catherine Zeta-Jones does have a better role. I think Salah's role is more dynamic than Diana's.
Yeah.
But Catherine Zeta-Jones, you watch this and you can see why she becomes a future star. The costume itself, Jeff, what do you think of it?
I love it. I possibly believe that this is where my obsession with the color purple came from. Don't quote me on it because, I can't remember a lot of my younger years. But as far as I'm aware, this is probably where my fascination with the color purple came from and why it's my favorite color.
Yeah, I do like the design patterns on this costume too, how you kind of see I think it's like tribal markings over it.
It's really good that it's there and you kind of have to really look at it to see it. It's not in your face sort of thing, which is I thought quite interesting.
And we're talking off air about how it's more functional than what Batman 89's costume was, because we talked on the Batman 89 podcast about how he could only kick or punch at once and he couldn't turn his head, rather than this film.
And he kind of looked like a action doll.
Yeah, in this film, it's never a hindrance. Anything he does, you don't think, oh, they've shot that because the costume won't allow him to do anything else. It doesn't look as armored as Batman, but for that reason, he's more flexible and he can actually do more with it.
Yeah.
His animal sidekicks, Devil and Hero. So Devil is the wolf and Hero is the horse.
I could never remember the hero for some reason.
I looked it up.
Yeah. I always remember the wolf because the wolf was just awesome.
And cool name, Devil.
Yeah, and cool name, but for some reason could never remember the horse, which is a shame because the horse is just as cool as the wolf.
Did he ever have a bird as an animal? Because
I think he did at some point.
You'd think so he could have people just scope out the whole island from above. You think an eagle or something could be his.
Yeah, I think he had it more for communication.
Like pigeon?
Yeah, but rather than a pigeon, he is you know what, I'm just going to up my A game and I'm going to have a hawk. It's he could have had a dog, but no, he had a wolf.
I do like how this movie is set in 1938 as well. It's not a present day thing where I don't know if Phantom works as well in the present day. He's very much a character from yesteryear, like a swashbuckling kind of Indiana Jones kind of style of hero.
Yeah.
Which I like about this film. They did later on in another movie, we won't talk about, but another Phantom movie where they try to bring him into the present day, which didn't work.
It didn't work in the movie, but apparently it does have quite a fan base, that version of Phantom, which I don't understand, but I don't need to, so...
I had some connections before between the Phantom lore and the Black Panther lore. What I got with the connections were how it seems like Black Panther and Phantom both, they're almost the kings or royalty of what area they're in. Yes, Phantom's not technically a king. He's just like an overseer or a watcher. But the mantle of Phantom and the mantle of Black Panther are both passed down from father to son.
Yeah.
Like the same way as Black Panther. Black Panther can talk to his ancestors the same way as Phantom can talk to his dad.
Yeah.
A similar thing. I was looked at that and going, I wonder if that was something that they actually deliberately took out of the Phantom was with Black Panther. But yeah, I saw a lot of similarities, and I was like, that's just interesting. Have you got anything else you want to add before we go into the movie?
If you haven't seen or read The Phantom, this could be an interesting movie for you guys to look at. Unfortunately, because it came out after the Batman, that means that there are a few things that you will find that are similar to Batman, but he doesn't have that horrible, Batman-y themed music that a lot of movies have now. So I look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on it.
There's still some things I've seen that remind me of Batman. Don't worry, I'll bring them up every time I do. Right, so without further ado, Jeff, let's go into the movie. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you The Phantom from 1996.
Ah, nobody does it Bennett, He-Man.
Movie starts with the words, "For those who came in late."
Which is just about everyone, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had to put that in.
Yeah, the narrator here, I believe it's his father who does the narration, so I'll play it in his father's voice. It all began a very long time ago, when a merchant ship was set upon by pirates of the Singh Brotherhood.
Jeez, dude, he ain't that old.
A small boy watched helplessly as his father was killed by the pirate leader, the evil Kabbai Singh. Yeah, based it on the first Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I could tell. I was like, why is old man Phantom sounding like Dumbledore from Harry Potter?
Harry Potter! He jumped overboard and was washed ashore on a mysterious jungle island called Bangala. It seemed like a case of out of the frying pan and into the fire. But the Taganda, but the Taganda tribesmen meant the boy no harm. They scooped him up and carried him to their village. And that night, in an ancient ceremony of fire and drums, the tribal shaman presented the boy with a ring of great significance. I'm always going into BBC narration here, David Edinburgh. Yeah. Then and there, the boy understood he was destined to avenge his father's death by fighting piracy, greed, and cruelty in all their forms. And when he grew to be a man, he became the Phantom,
he said calmly. That's right, Dumbledore. I've seen your movies.
Yeah. Harry Potter must not appear this year. Title card appears. That's where he goes, smack in your face. Yeah. The Phantom.
Ha-cha-pow!
Interesting way to start the film by quickly giving you the origin in a 60-second narration and not showing you the origin in the first half of the film. Has a no-nonsense approach as the movie gets you straight into the hero. Batman 89 has a similar approach, except without any narration. So what I say here is, like, most movies and origins these days will take half the film up, and then you get to see what the Phantom...
The only one that's shorter than that is Batman vs. Superman. Probably not even 20 seconds of seeing Bruce's parents get killed.
Well, even like Spider-Man Homecoming, you have no origin. Even Civil War, what leads into Homecoming, there's no Spider-Man 1 because they've already done the origin already for that. They get straight into the no-nonsense part of it. But this is what the 80s and 90s seem to have done. Like Superman 78 still had an origin story. It took like an hour and a half to get through it.
Yeah.
This one, and Batman 89 especially, just didn't want to do it. They went straight into the hero. It's like, no, we could do a half a movie of origin, or we can just tell you in 60 seconds what happened. Bam, then we can give you more Phantom.
Yeah, that's the one.
I can understand why. But yeah, rather than the origins in later films like Batman Begins, Iron Man, Spider-Man, etc., take at least half of the movie to build to revealing the hero. Superman 78 also spent half the film building to revealing Superman in costume. Maybe it was just an 80s, 90s thing, as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action film did the same thing as this, where it went straight into telling you that the Ninja Turtles and just gave you a brief kind of origins tale.
Yeah.
Cut to a truck driving through the Bengala jungle in 1938. Two explorers with a map are looking for something in the jungle. They also seem to have a local boy with them. One of the explorers is played by James Remar, who was in the classic movie The Warriors, and the not-so-classic movie Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
More on that later.
But as Raiden, but stay tuned in the coming weeks for more about this movie. That's right. So if you stay tuned, you might hear more about Raiden from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Pretty vicious of Bad Raiden, otherwise known as Quill in this, to try and back elbow the young boy. Notice that when he's in the car, he tries to back elbow him, the kid ducks. I'm like, oh, it's vicious.
Yeah, and then later on, he's nice to him. I was like, what's going on?
I can't understand his character sometimes.
Yeah.
This, I'm guessing, is to show you that these guys are bad guys and someone needs to teach them a lesson. I think that's why I do it, the back elbow, is to show you that they're not like Indiana Jones or anything. They're not here for good reasons. They're here for bad reasons. The truck arrives at a bridge. Very Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom looking bridge. There is also a sign that says, no trespassing. The group of men, there were more hiding in the back of the truck. I didn't know about that until they climb out of the truck. I thought it was only two. Decide it's too dangerous to drive the truck across the bridge. So they get the local boys to drive it across instead. Thinking about safety. That's what I like. Again, getting Temple of Doom vibes here as Short Round drives a car in that too.
Yeah.
The group watch as the boy drives across the bridge. The group get back in once the truck is across the bridge. The group arrive at a point in the jungle and get out of the truck. Do you want me to be Quill? Do you want to be Quill?
You can be Quill, I'll be Morgan.
Now it's on foot from here. Okay, Zach, take a look. Which way? Zach talks in his local language. Oh, what now? What's his problem now?
He says we can't go on. These woods are protected.
Oh yeah? Protected by who? Zach again speaks in his local language.
By a ghost. The ghost who walks.
Quill is freaked out a little by this and rubs the side of his face, revealing a skull-shaped scar on the side of his face. Very similar to the ring emblem from the start of the film.
Coincidence? Dun dun dun.
Yeah? I wouldn't worry about that.
He says he's not taking us beyond this point. How did my guy go Australian?
He's not taking us, mate.
He's not taking us, governor.
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
weird.
yep.
That's a weird turn. Yeah.
Put another shrimp on the barbie. Oh, dear. At least mine didn't go from a female to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. That was hilarious. We did
Yeah.
that. And big. Another member of the group says to just shoot the boy. No! We need him to drive the truck back across the bridge. Tie him up and leave him here. We can find our own way. The group of men continue on foot through the jungle without the boy. They come to a cave opening. This is it! We're there! As the men go into the cave, they are being watched by one of the native tribesmen who is chilling in a tree. He's like, yeah, bro, just in the tree, mate. Hey, how's it going? The men explore the cave looking for something. One of the men find a metallic skull with glowing purple eyes. Blue. Apparently, this is what they were looking for.
That was blue.
Blue, looks like purple. All right, with glowing blue eyes. Apparently, this is what they were looking for. Quill says that Mr. Drax will be very happy. None of the explorers even know what the skull is. Quill says he doesn't like to ask too many questions.
His answers scare me.
Styles gets attacked by a skeleton corpse. This is the guy's name. One of the guys is in the back of the truck. It's not AJ Styles, the wrestler. Just letting everyone know.
Yeah, because everyone cares about that one.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal if it was.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Styles gets attacked by a skeleton corpse. Bravo to the actor for making it look semi-real, as it looks like the skeleton couldn't move anything apart from his arms. 90s special effects. Styles is dead.
Yeah. Ah, so good. Styles is now dead. What the hell happened?
He's dead. Damn thing came to life and choked him to death.
That's not possible.
Tell Styles.
Come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
The other member of the group asks about the other stuff in the cave, as there is some valuable stuff. Take it! Take it all! Nobody's gonna miss it. Except for, the guy just got killed by taking something.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd be like, maybe we shouldn't touch everything. We got what we came for. Don't be like Abu in Aladdin. Don't touch anything but the lamp. The group starts to grab stuff. Drums start to beat outside the cave. Wait. Is a Jumanji board game outside the cave? Go away, Jumanji board game. I have covered your movie already.
Oh, God.
As the drums continue
I'm sorry you had to hear that cheesy line.
because Jumanji will be out by the time this podcast comes out. As the drums continue to beat, the animals in the jungle go into hiding. Whatever is happening, it's scaring the whole jungle. As the drums are beating too, there's some chanting. Phantom. Phantom.
Is there?
There is, you can hear Phantom.
Must be pretty quiet because I remember the drums. Definitely.
Yeah, just when you see his eyes and stuff, it kind of goes Phantom. So close up on a pair of eyes with a domino mask around them, with some black paint around the eyes. You know what I'm going to say, Jeff.
Yeah.
Very Batman-like. I would say heavily inspired by Batman. The whisper chant of Phantom through the drums in the jungle is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a chant, the whisper chant going through. Here you go, sir. It's your first line is the particular character.
Devil. Somebody needs us.
Animal sidekicks are really done in live-action superhero films. I do like how they have his wolf Devil, though.
Yeah.
The native design patterns in the purple of Phantom's outfit is a really nice touch. Shows you that the Phantom has a handgun, too. Another thing different to most heroes. The men are making their way back through the jungle with their loot, all creeped out, when Phantom comes riding in, slow-mo style, on his horse. The men try to shoot Phantom, but his handgun accuracy is just too good. The men run away, because when he shoots him, he shoots one of them guns out of their hands.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so yeah.
We just watched this movie, remember?
I know, but I'm saying it for the listener too.
Oh, the listener, yeah. I guess they're important.
The men run away, but one of them falls over and is greeted by Devil and Phantom on his horse. Hero.
Watch him, Devil. If he moves, eat him.
Which I would have been hilarious if he came back and his arms and legs.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I wasn't actually being serious.
Wolves don't get sarcasm.
Yeah.
Phantom then chases after the other men who get back to their truck and drive away. The boy is tied up in the back of the truck.
Who was that guy?
Somebody I already killed.
What?
You heard me. I killed him. Years ago.
Well, guess what? He's back.
At least he's behind us. Phantom then lands on the bonnet of the truck. Morgan shoots through the windscreen and Phantom slides away.
Did I get him?
I don't see him. You must have hit him.
Yeah, that's right. You don't see him, so you must have got him.
No blood, but sure. Phantom then pops up on the passenger side door, full on punches Morgan in the face, then casually throws him out of the truck. It's like, don't need you anymore.
Yep.
Quill continues the fight in the truck, even manages to stab Phantom. Quill then rolls out of the truck, leaving Phantom hanging on. I did it again. Hanging on. Space. The side door.
Oh, no.
Leaving Phantom hanging on the side door while the truck goes onto that swing bridge we saw earlier. Phantom dies. End of movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was really good that we did that film.
So you're telling me I needed this whole book for nothing?
Yeah, because he dies on the bridge. No. Phantom unties the boy in the back of the truck while the bridge starts to collapse. Phantom and the boy fall out of the truck and are left hanging up over a massive chasm. The truck is above them, slowly falling towards them, while the ropes continue to break on the bridge. Phantom is desperately trying to hang on to the boy's hand and gets him to hold on to his neck. Phantom then shoots the rope they are holding onto, causing them to swing to the side of the cliffs. The bridge then fully breaks, causing the truck to fall below. Kaboom! Shakalaka-laka-laka. He's on fire! Sorry, I went with some NBA Jam stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to the Jungle Patrol. Seriously, that's its name.
Yeah.
Jungle Patrol.
Yeah.
Sounds like a kid's like TV show. Hey kids, let's go with the Jungle Patrol.
Jungle Patrol. It's like the Paw Patrol, but in the jungle.
Right. So cut to the Jungle Patrol. Their logo is quite similar to the Umbrella Corporation in Resident Evil. Is this a coincidence?
I don't know.
This could be a front for zombie biohazard weaponry.
Phantom 2. The Zombies.
Biohazard.
Coming to a cinema near
Everyone
you.
who died in this one comes back as zombies. The Jungle Patrol seem to have caught some poachers. One of the poachers warned the Jungle Patrol that there's a thing out there with a wolf and a horse.
That man's been chewing on the wrong kind of jungle growth.
You know what? He's been talking about, Captain. We both do.
Oh, not now, Weeks. I'm not in the mood.
The ghost who walks! The Phantom!
It's nonsense. I'll try not to laugh while I'm saying that, just because of the way you said the Phantom.
The Phantom!
It's nonsense. According to legend, he's immortal. Been around for 4 centuries.
The captain then scoffs.
Scoffity scoff. Imagine it. Weeks. Years. Days. Months. Sorry. I just had to do it because his name's Weeks, for crying out loud.
I was going to say, what?
Imagine it. Weeks. 400 years. It just isn't possible.
Cut to Kit Walker reading ancient texts as Guran tends to his wounds, using special remedies. Phantom has a pretty nice cave house library.
He really does, doesn't he?
Very nice.
This is it. This is what I'm looking for. The skulls of Taganda. One made of gold. One made of silver.
Are they valuable?
What? Hey, are they valuable?
Hey, are they valuable? There you go. That's his voice, all right? That's his voice.
He's still... Okay, all right. More than that, Garan. They're dangerous. Listen to this. When placed together, the 3 skulls harness an energy 1,000 times greater than any force or high explosive known to man. It's all right here in the Chronicles. And yet somehow the 4th skull isn't?
No, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's like you should have found it here somewhere.
A long time ago, the Taganda tribesmen possessed the skulls and knew the secret of keeping their force contained. Their village was attacked by the pirates of the Singh Brotherhood. The tribe was destroyed and the skulls were separated and lost. For 4 centuries, there's been no trace of them.
Billy Zane got himself into insanely good shape for this role. Ba-dum-bum. I used to come here myself, Kit, to consult the Chronicles for guidance and wisdom, usually when I was troubled or confused or had just screwed up real bad,
he said calmly. That's right, that's going to keep happening. Dumbledore.
Yep.
I'm guilty on all counts, Dad. I let those skulls slip right through my fingers. It's interesting that he says skulls, and it's only one that got taken then. Yeah. The other ones were long before he knew about them.
Maybe he's thinking they've got all of them now, so that maybe he's why he's saying skulls. But yeah, he's taking a lot of guilty for something he didn't actually do. So
yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself. We all make mistakes,
he said calmly. This one gets worse.
How so?
It's the Singh Brotherhood. I saw the spiderweb tattoo.
You turned over one of the skulls of Taganda to the Singh Brotherhood?
He said calmly.
They've tried and failed to get their hands on those skulls for the last 400 years.
He said calmly.
Wait, Dad, calm down. What happened to we all make mistakes? And all of a sudden, it's like...
It was like, oh boy, if I could slap you, I'd slap... Well, mind you, he could slap him because he handshakes him later on.
He does, but then we'll get to that one. But yeah, he's like, we all make mistakes. Oh, it was those skulls. You what?
Yeah.
Oh, this changes everything. God.
They don't have all 3.
We don't know how many they have. Do you have any idea what it means if the Brotherhood gets control over the skulls?
They'll be invincible.
Then stop them. You're the only one who can.
I bet I'm not. I bet there's plenty of other people out
Where's
there.
Rick O'Connell from The Mummy? He's around about the same era. Then Kit's dad ghosts away, and Garan comes in saying he heard voices. Kit says he was talking to himself. Can the Phantom talk to his ancestors? I guess he can.
I think from what I've seen in the comics and in the movie, it's only the previous Phantom he can talk to. He can't talk to the others because...
Is it the ring? Maybe the connection between the ring?
I don't think it's the ring.
Or maybe you had to know the living Phantom to know the dead one?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And that will explain why you can only know one, because you only knew the one previously too.
Yeah.
Cut to Long Island, New York. At a fancy mansion where Diana Palmer has returned home, she meets up with her mother and her Uncle Dave. They are hosting a fancy party. Xander Drax shows up at the party. Apparently he made a big donation. Diana's dad tells his wife to return Drax's money, as he's no respected businessman. He's a thug. Diana is in the kitchen, where this dry, boring rich boy is trying to chat her up. Diana has an Amelia Earhart haircut going on.
She has a Amelia Earhart look. Not just the haircut, but the outfit and everything screams Amelia Earhart.
Uncle Dave tells Drax to leave his party, tells him how much scum he is associated with. Drax threatens to buy the newspaper that Uncle Dave owns. Drax finishes off the conversation by saying, I usually get what I want. Uncle Dave talks to the police commissioner about what Drax is doing. Drax seems to be investigating and using books that are supposed to be under strict lock and key. He's on a quest for a supernatural power. Uncle Dave plans to go to the Bengala jungle and meet up with a man called Captain Philip Horton, but now he's not sure he can turn his back on Drax for that long. Diana offers to go instead. Cut to a dark alleyway where a car is driving up. There is a hood ornament of an archer on the car. I thought it was going to be important because it zooms in on it, like it's an archer. I was like, later on, it has nothing to do with the movie. I was like, oh, okay, so it's nothing.
It's just to show you how rich the person is.
I guess so. Commissioner, who was just talking with Uncle Dave, gets into the car and tells Drax that they know far too much. The police commissioner is corrupt. Oh, goodness gracious. Cut to daytime where Diana is leaving a Pan America Airways building, preparing to board her flight to Bengala. It's one of those boat planes. A couple of real wise guys inform Drax via a telecommunication device. Capiche?
It's Ray Zephyro. Yeah. Our little Tootsie is boarding the plane right now. Just say the word. I'll have her dangled off by the hair.
Well, thanks for that. Just the same, Ray, but I have another way of dealing with this. After all, I do have friends in that part of the world.
Shouldn't he sound like a little bit more gruff than that?
Nah, I'm going with the first big boss in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, Maximilian Pegasus?
Maximilian Pegasus. I've just been different.
Poor Drax.
Drax has a microscope that has blades come out when you turn the knobs. Drax hangs up when Dr. Fleming, the librarian, enters. Drax is upset that someone might be talking to Uncle Dave about his work. Dr. Fleming assures Drax that he is the only one with access to those files. Well, good. I feel a whole lot better now. Thanks so much for coming. Oh, one more thing, if you don't mind. I'd like your professional opinion on something under this microscope. Here, let me hold your glasses.
I feel sorry for Dr. Fleming. He doesn't even get any lines.
No lines, Dr. Fleming. Well, you get something. You get some blades in the eyes. Dr. Fleming can't see anything. Just turn the focus knobs. When Dr. Fleming turns the knobs, the word liar comes into clear picture, right before the sound of the blades going through Dr. Fleming's eyes. Ouch.
Yeah, there's no... I forget the bloody... What's that stuff that they, iodine or whatever. There's no iodine in the world that can fix that one.
No iodine, no Robitussin?
Yeah, Robitussin, that's it! I was thinking of...
Everyone Hates Chris?
Yeah, Everyone Hates Chris, and I was like, there's no Robitussin in the world that's going to fix that one.
Robitussin. My eyes are gone. Robitussin.
Yep. Put some Robitussin on it. You'll be fine.
Well, I guess you won't be needing these anymore.
Now, he could have sold those for a pretty penny.
He could have, but he didn't, because he's evil. Cut to the boat plane flying in the night sky. Diana is investigating the cloth with the spiderweb symbol on it. The plane is joined by a couple of small open cockpit fighter planes that don't look great in 2021, but that's all right. Effects in the 90s going to do that.
Yeah.
Again, I get Indiana Jones vibes, but this time from The Last Crusade. Garan is listening to radio channels via a wheel-winding radio system. Phantom says how he and Zack are about to leave. Phantom listens in and hears that the Pan Am Clipper has been forced down over the ocean. The Pan Am Clipper gets boarded by Sulla, a.k.a. Catherine Zeta-Jones. 90s Zeta-Jones. Please, sir, can I have some more?
I was looking at that going, what the hell does that mean? But now that you've said it, I'm like, you perv.
90s Catherine Zeta-Jones, yes. We want Diana Palmer. We're prepared to kill all of you, one by one, until she steps forward. You would be Diana Palmer?
No.
So I got to be Diana as well.
I would have been Sulla of anything, but no, I'm not. Ugh, no. Diana's so forgettable.
You can be Sulla if you want.
I'll try. We want Diana Palmer, and we're prepared to kill all of you one by one until she steps forward.
That wasn't bad. Pretty good. I'm Diana Palmer.
So quickly. How disappointing.
Diana pulls off Sulla's pilot hat and goggles. Sulla then does the hair release head twist. Reminded me of Scrubs whenever a new female entered the room. It's the slow-mo.
Kind of also reminds you of like the Pantene ads and stuff. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Happy now? Get a good look?
Sulla then slaps Diana unconscious. She just goes whack in the side of her face. And...
she's got a gun when she does that.
Oh, does she? I didn't realize she had a gun.
Pistol whips
I
her.
thought she just slapped her unconscious. It's like, wow, it's a heck of a...
Pistol whips her.
That makes more sense now then. So you got to do all the scenes here, sir, because you're captain and you're... I can do weeks, but I got it around the wrong way.
I'm Weeks. You're captain.
No, you're captain, because I was weeks last time.
Oh.
Because you said weeks.
All right. Oh, no, I've forgotten his voice. I've completely forgotten this guy's voice.
Do you want me to be the captain?
Oh, I think you're going to have to be, man. It's too...
So you can be early captain, you've been recasted.
Yeah, he got recasted because it's just... But you need him to sound similar to me, like what I did with the captain. So don't give him the whole Maximilian Pegasus voice.
I'll stay on the radio, captain. All right. Wake me up if there's any news. The captain goes into his hut, washes his face with some water, then turns around to see Phantom there, eating a sandwich or perhaps a piece of cake. Oh, so the captain is Phantom's Commissioner Gordon to his Batman. Can't you ever come in the front door?
It's too obvious. I like the window.
Good to see you, Phantom.
Captain.
We've, had some trouble tonight.
So I've heard. Any news?
Passengers have been picked up by a Portuguese fishing boat. Everyone's safe except one young woman who was abducted off the clipper.
Who?
She was on her way to see me, oddly enough. Her name's Diana Palmer.
Diana Palmer? From New York? Uncle owns the Tribune?
Yes, that's right. How did you know?
I heard the name somewhere.
Oh. First those grey rubbers, and now this. I only hope we can get her back.
I'll see what I can do.
Wait. You better go out the way you came in. I have enough trouble trying to pretend you're not real as it is.
That's what your therapist says.
Phantom returns to the forest where Zack was taking care of Hero and Devil.
Thanks, Zack.
I love during the last scene after Phantom had finished scoffing down that food. He stands there talking to the captain in a full-on superhero pose, like hands on hips. He's just sitting there like, da-da-da. Zack tells Phantom that the bad men who got him have a girl they got from a plane with feet, a seaplane. Phantom and Zack ride off. Cut to daytime, to a boat where Sulla is carrying an unconscious Diana. That must have been one heck of a slap, but now I realise it was a gun. That's why I didn't realise it was a gun. I thought she'd slapped him with her hand and knocked her out cold. Sulla puts Diana down on a chair inside the boat. Quill is also in the room. Diana informs Sulla and Quill to how many laws they have just broken and if their plot is to get money. Well, they won't get 1 red cent from her. Quill informs Diana that someone has a real interest in her, but don't worry, as Diana and Quill are going to apparently have some fun later. What are they going to be doing? Dancing?
Getting jiggy with it?
Cut to Phantom and Zack approaching the ship. They are scouting it from afar. Phantom thanks Zack and tells him to go back to the rope people. No Kalebar, that's what he says. Phantom uses Devil to go aboard while Phantom climbs some anchor ropes to sneak onto the boat. Sulla takes a liking to Diana's boots. As Sulla removes the boot, she doesn't notice the note that drops out, so Diana quickly hides it. Phantom explores the boat, holding his gun like a secret agent. Sulla eventually sees the note that Diana was trying to hide. So you see Phantom when he's walking around, he's got his gun in the air like he's James Bond. Phantom bursts through the door.
All right, gentlemen. Nobody...
Phantom comes to the realization that he accidentally busts into the ladies' shower room.
Ladies, kindly pardon my error.
He went British there. And then,
That's what happens when he gets a little pervy, he gets British.
all right, then Phantom starts getting shot at by another woman with a gun. So Phantom jumps down some sort of chute. Maybe an air vent, but it is a laundry chute, because later on they mentioned it's a laundry chute, but wasn't sure what it was. Phantom then drops down right into the room where Sulla and Diana is.
Why do you keep going, Sulla?
It's just because it reminds me of Sulla from Indiana Jones. It's John Rhys Davies. It goes, Sulla!
Shava!
Mr. Loverman!
What is this? A ship full of women? All my pilots are women. Interesting. Excuse me while I completely ignore you.
Pretty much. Who are you?
A good Samaritan.
A bit weird how Phantom just ignores Sulla in this scene and starts untying Diana. Sulla then unsurprisingly points a gun at Phantom.
I bet you're better than good.
Alarm goes off on the boat.
Looks like I'm gonna get the chance to find out. There's an old jungle saying, never point a gun at someone, 'cause it might just go off.
Phantom just snatches the gun out of Sulla's hand.
Fast hands. I like that in a man. Wait, does this mean I'm gonna make out with myself?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Sulla starts kissing Phantom. But okay, what the hell is up with this scene? Because the scene is weird.
Yeah, well, you can tell me about it. I'm making out with myself.
But it's weird how he drops down, says, interesting about all the women on the ship is everyone's woman. He's like, interesting. Turns around, ignores her, unties Diana, then turns around to see that Sulla actually has a gun pointed at him. No surprising, because she's the bad girl. He snatches it out of her hand, and her response is, oh, I like fast hands. I'm going to make out with you now.
Yep.
Right. Phantom then tells Diana to tie her up. Diana then KO punches Sulla with a hard-hitting punch.
Or don't.
It's personal. Phantom tells Diana to escape with him, but Diana wants to know who he is and why she should go with him. Both fair points. So Phantom tells Diana that he's there to rescue her. Diana says thanks, but she can take it from here. Phantom then says she hasn't changed a bit, showing that Kit and Diana must know each other on a personal level. Quill is informed that there is a man in a purple suit on board. Quill goes into denial upon hearing the news. Quill tells the informants to scramble the pilots and not to let them off the ship. As Diana and Phantom try to escape through the top deck, they are quite easily handled by Quill's men. Quill starts to beat on Phantom. Phantom is definitely no Batman. Then Devil comes and takes out Quill. Phantom and Diana then fight their way off the ship. Like that one punch where the guy goes flying backwards, you say?
No, the flying backwards one's fine. It's the one where Diana punches the guy and he jumps up and falls down. He doesn't fall over. He sort of jumps straight up and then falls down. It's just weird to look at.
Pretty lackluster action scene here, I put. Quill and his men drive the truck after Phantom's plane. Devil returns to Hero, the horse, and starts chatting with him.
Ruff! Ruff!
What on earth is going on?
This isn't Mr. Ed, people.
Hero, the horse, and Devil chase after Phantom's plane. The plane is losing fuel due to Quill shooting at the plane while they escaped. Phantom and Diana jump off the plane to avoid crashing. Phantom jumps from the plane onto Hero, the horse. Then Diana jumps onto Hero, the horse too. The plane crashes.
That really sounded like you were bored there. They jump off the plane and land on Hero, the horse, and then Diana jumps off the plane and lands on the horse.
More after this, but first, here's the weather. Phantom and Diana are then chased on horseback by Quill and his men in the truck. Quill and his men comically fall out of the truck like a bunch of fools. More of Quill's men continue to chase on horseback, but they get taken out by tribesmen in the trees by yanking them off their horses and hanging them via ropes in the air. But not by the neck. They didn't viciously kill them. That would be pretty brutal.
Pretty interesting, actually, how they managed to do it so well.
How did you do that?
My friends, the rope people.
It's a weird name for a minute. The rope people. It's like, probably got Hank and Tom over there and Fred.
Yeah.
But no, it is just rope people, guys. Phantom and Diana ride off with Devil back to the skull cave. There is a skull design on the outside of the cave. Phantom gives Diana some black pearls, jewellery, not a pirate ship. Phantom then introduces Diana to Captain Horton. Because black pearls, you know the black pearl?
Yeah, I got you.
I made a joke. I made a Jack
I
Sparrow
just
joke.
ignored it because it was so bad. I'm sure you'll review that at one point too.
We will, and we'll talk about Phantom then. The Black Pearls. Diana gives the captain a piece of paper with the spider web on it. Phantom then tells Diana that she's gotten herself mixed up with the Singh Brotherhood, an ancient order of evil. Phantom asks Diana where she got the paper.
Shoot, sorry.
This is your movie, sir. You're not supposed to be bored.
I'm not bored, tired.
Phantom asks Diana where she got the paper. Diana explains that it was found in New York. Her uncle's newspaper is investigating a man named Xander Drax. Phantom tells Captain Horton to send Diana back, even though Diana doesn't want to. She came all this way to do a job, and that's what she's going to do. Phantom tells her goodbye. Cut to New York, and some weirdly comical music. When it cuts to New York, it's like some upbeat... Blah, 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 blah. Drax is looking at the silver skull, and is making some excitable sounds. He's like, oh, baby, oh, it's beautiful.
I used a little toothpaste on it. It polished up so good.
Toothpaste? Really? That's nice. You know, I'm in such a great mood right now. I almost hate to mention this, little Yugi. Paper reads, editor's niece escapes kidnappers. And there you go, yawning again.
I can't help it.
Paper reads, editor's niece escapes kidnappers. Ah, the happy homecoming. Kind of brings a tear to the eye, doesn't it? What went wrong? Something you didn't count on. Oh, really? And what was that? The Phantom. I thought that was just a superstition. Oh no, he's real, and he won't die. I know I killed him once, and he isn't dead. That doesn't make any sense. Look, I brought this to prove it. Quill shows him the Phantom's skull belt.
Yeah, that doesn't... It's like, oh, I just happened to randomly have this belt, which could or could not be the Phantom's belt, and this is how I prove it. Facts?
That's not the first time you heard this, but see this hole?
It's not the last time.
See this hole? That's where I stuck him with a 12-inch blade. Is that what you call it? You stabbed him in the back. I've underestimated you, Quill. Right up to the hilt. Wow, that should have done the trick all right.
The Phantom helped Diana to escape. I think he's in love with her.
Geez, Sutter, that's a massive leap.
Yeah, real massive.
It's like, oh, really? This is getting more interesting by the minute. Why do you say that?
Because he could have had these.
Could have had these boobs.
Because he could have had me, but he picked her. That can only be love.
Oh, simply bad judgment.
Yeah, I would say bad judgment, sorry, because...
So what should we do about him? Do? Nothing. This is New York City. I'm not concerned with some jungle folk hero half a world away, and I heard you yawning again.
I tried so badly to stop that one too.
Do? Nothing. This is New York City. I'm not concerned with some jungle folk hero half a world away. Cut to Kit Walker arriving in New York City. Clark Kent style.
Yep, he definitely does.
Even looks up at the World Tribune sign like Clark does in 78 Superman when he first arrives in Metropolis. Kit gives annoyed taxi driver a bunch of jewels and tells him to wait for him to return.
Yeah, that's like half of what happened there. First of all, he gave him the wrong kind of money, and that's why the taxi driver's annoyed. And then he gives him the jewels.
It was Bengalan money. It's like, he was raised in America, so why does he not realize he needs to have American currency with him?
Yeah.
It's weird. Cut to Drax in the building just across the street from the World Tribune building. Wow, New York City must have been real small in 1938. Drax shows some board members and commissioner the skull of Taganda. He explains how 3 skulls will give the user great power. The others question Drax, as he only has one of the skulls. Apparently, one of the skulls will point to the others, giving Drax the location of the second skull. Ray, one of the board members, says to count him out. He feels this is wrong. Drax spares Ray any more of the details, as he literally threw a spear across the room, stabbing and killing Ray. Ray is going to get the second skull
He was a real backstabber.
Ray is going to get the second skull immediately, and tells the commissioner to keep his police away until it is done. Cut to Diana walking through the World Tribune building, being harassed by some random guy. Apparently his name is Jimmy. Diana goes into her uncle's office and is surprised to see Kit. How at this point she does not know he's the Phantom, I don't know. He acts exactly the same way in both roles. He even does the Phantom hero pose when Jimmy says that he has seen the green skull like the silver one that Kit describes. But okay though, I'll give Diana credit. She does suspect a little bit that Kit could be the Phantom because as he puts his hands on his hips and talks about the jade skull, she looks at him with like suspicious eyes. Yeah. And there's like jungle music in the background to make you realise that she knows.
You know what that is. She doesn't realise until she hears the jungle music. It's like, wait a minute. I'm sure I've heard that music.
Why is there
before.
jungle music coming from him? Maybe it's one of his powers, like the whole power of animals. Yeah. Power of jungle music. The jade skull is apparently at the Museum of World History. Kit and Diana get in a taxi to go to the Museum of World History. The taxi driver is now in a much better mood as he has had the stones appraised while Kit was inside. Kit and Diana talk about their boring history and why Kit had to leave. Kit's dad died, so he had to take over being the Phantom or Black Panther, one of those two. Kit smashes the display at the museum and grabs the jade skull.
I really, really don't like this scene. He's a hero. He does all the stuff for the right reasons, and then he just randomly decides in a museum to break a display to get the skull.
Well, maybe he thinks the police are corrupt. That's why he doesn't want to trust them.
But he doesn't know that yet. I mean, he's only just come back to New York. He's only just had a conversation with one person to where the skull might be. And he hasn't tried to ask anyone, he hasn't said, hey, look, I want to try and get the skull. And they haven't said, no, you can't. So then, he could go break into it. But he just straight up just breaks into this display and picks up the skull.
He's no better than them.
Yeah.
I think it's also because we know the urgency of the time because we know that Drax is on his way. So maybe it's more... Yeah, so maybe it's more just because the audience knows they decided to put the Phantom being quick about it. Maybe it's an audience kind of thing rather than the Phantom one because it is a bit weird how he just decides to break the law. But then again, he didn't also bring American currency, so he's not thinking right. So he grabs the jade skull, only for Drax's men to take it off him. Drax's bag starts smoking. When he opens it up, he realizes that the skulls are reacting with one another. The power of the skulls starts smashing all the cool-looking stained glass windows at the museum, and the skull's laser eyes point to the location of the third skull on a map. Drax leaves the museum and also takes Diana and Kit hostage. As Drax and his men drive off, the taxi driver Kit gave the jewels to starts to follow in his car. He must have seen Kit when he get into the car. It's the only reason I can think why he'd like, oh, maybe I should follow them.
He does.
Drax takes Kit and Diana back to his place. Ooh la la. All right. What's your name and why do you want that skull so badly?
Kit Walker.
Ah. And who is Kit Walker?
I am, obviously.
And what about the skull?
Thought it would go well with my drapes.
Oh, cute. You're very cute, Mr. Walker. Fortunately, I have a cure for that.
Is it the old blades in the thing again?
Ice? No, it's knuckle busters to the gut this time. That's a different cure. Because he's not being dishonest, so therefore he's not a liar, so he can't give him the scope. Stop it. Don't hurt him. While Kit is recovering, he notices Quill is wearing a Phantom skull belt. Why, Diana? Are you sweet on Mr. Walker? I thought your true love was swinging on a jungle vine somewhere. How did you... I mean... Who told you that?
Why do you females always sound so bored? How did you...
Because she was kind of boredness.
Yeah.
Like with Salah, if I've been with Salah, I'd have been more lively, like I did my first role.
Blake Lively?
Ha ha! Oh, you.
You.
Salah pops up from a couch directly behind Diana.
I did.
Salah's got all the latest gossip on 2 continents.
Deny it. He's in love with you, and you're nuts about him. From the moment he came flying down the laundry chute, you were hooked.
Kismet, the jungle. You're despicable. And you're just jealous. Saw! Slaps Diana.
Now I'm one up on you.
Ladies, Quill! Would you please show Mr. Walker up to the observation deck and make him talk?
Oh, do I have to?
Yes. Yes. You have to say the line. Say it. Say the line.
I claim the... This is so wrong. I claim the body when you're done.
You made voice went like that. How he said it.
I can't do it. It's
Go on.
so bad.
Go on, sir.
I claim the body when you're done.
There you go. That'll do.
Ew. Oh, that was so hard to do.
Now, once I check those coordinates against this navigational chart, we will know the location of the third skull. Kit is being led upstairs by Quill and his men. Kit then knocks them all down and escapes through to the machine room. Quill and his men get back up and start to give chase through the machine room. They find Kit's clothes on the ground, but also find themselves in a weird full-leg double chokehold by the Phantom.
Yeah.
Quill shoots at Phantom, then runs away. Phantom is locked in the machine room until he finds an access hatch to the elevator shaft. It is weird that they don't suspect that Kit is the Phantom after they find his clothes on the ground.
Oh my god. There's a man running around here naked.
He ran in this room, and now he has no clothes on, yet there's one other person in this room, and it's the Phantom. It can't be the same guy.
Clearly, Kit's running around naked.
He is. He's like doing like Saints Row style.
Yeah. Or maybe he thinks he's the invisible man and he's running around naked.
Or maybe he is because they can't see him.
Yeah.
Drax finds the location to the third skull. It is located in the Devil's Vortex. Seems to be a Bermuda Triangle type of place, as ships keep mysteriously disappearing in the Devil's Vortex. Phantom climbs down the elevator shaft while Drax prepares to leave to the Devil's Vortex. Quill informs Drax that the Phantom is in the building. Diana is being brought along to the Devil's Vortex. She's their Phantom insurance. Police Commissioner prepares to send police after Phantom with shoot-to-kill orders given by Drax. Phantom uses his handguns to slide down an elevator cable after he heard Drax talking about the Devil's Vortex.
That was so wicked.
What's cool how he crosses them over and slides down the shaft.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean elevator shaft, right?
Yeah. It slides down the shaft.
Phantom narrowly avoids getting squashed by an elevator and starts running after Drax's group. But he is too late. Phantom tries to get in the taxi with the dual-fed taxi driver, saying he's a friend of Kit Walker's. At least try and conceal your voice, Billy Zane. What's going on here? There you go, I did the rah-rah for you. Police chase Phantom out of the taxi, so he starts jumping on the roofs of moving cars, and then acquiring a police horse. The police give chase on bikes. Phantom jumps off the moving horse and into some bushes. The cops see him do this though, and realise he's heading for the zoo. Cops find which enclosure Phantom would have entered from. When the cops get spooked by a tiger, they assume Phantom will not be in there and start looking elsewhere. But Phantom was in that enclosure. The power and respect animals have for Phantom is on full display here. So you notice that the animals won't attack him. Isn't it weird how he says it weird how he decides to escape when the cops are still around?
Yeah, it's just bizarre because it's like seconds after they leave and he's like, right, time to go now. Wait, shouldn't you give them time to like leave the area first?
And what happens when he tries to escape?
Shoot and kill.
Yep, they see him. Phantom climbs up a fence, swings by a branch over a wall, and is met by a dual taxi guy. He tells Phantom to get in. The taxi driver hears on his police radio that Drax is heading for the docks, so they also head that way. Phantom's dead dad shows up in the car with them. Phantom asks about Quill's skull belt. It was his dad's. Quill told Daddy Phantom that he could take him to the Singh Brotherhood, but instead Quill literally stabbed him in the back. When Phantom tells his dad that there's a woman involved, they awkwardly shake hands like they had a bet on it or something. It's really weird. It's like, there's a woman involved. Oh, congratulations, sir. He didn't even say that he had the hots for her or anything. He's just like, there's a woman involved. Oh, congratulations, son.
I never saw that until then, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could unsee that. Quick, make me forget that one.
Cut to the docks where Drax's group is boarded on a boat plane. Phantom and the taxi driver catch up.
Looks like I've got a plane to catch. Thanks.
Phantom dives into the water and climbs onto the bottom of the plane. How terrifying would it be, Jeff, to ride a plane that way?
Very terrifying.
You should have a rope or
I
something.
would imagine that you would have difficulty breathing too.
You would,
surely.
because it's so high up.
Yeah.
But at least he can do is clip himself to like a rope or something and stick to the wing.
But saying that, he probably doesn't have the time to do it.
But he can do it any time on the flight because he's hanging on for dear life if he can just...
Yeah, but he would have had to have brought rope and stuff with him, knowing full well that's what he was going to do.
He could have had a utility belt. I'm just saying.
No. He's not Batman. It's not Bono.
Drax's plane arrives at the island located in the Devil's Vortex. Phantom is struggling to hang on to the plane while it turns. Phantom should get himself a rope and a hook so he can tie himself to the plane.
Jeez, Phantom, come on.
The plane lands, so Phantom jumps into the water. Drax and his party use a raft to go into a nearby cave. We're so close now. I can feel it. History is about to be made, and you're all part of it. Not an equal part, of course, but an important part nonetheless. Drax and the group dock inside the cave. Cave looks like something from the Goonies. Very similar to where the kids find One-Eyed Willie's ship. Speaking of pirates, Drax's group is attacked by pirates. Phantom is also making his way through the cave. Quill shows his spiderweb tattoo, showing the pirates that he too is part of the Brotherhood. The pirates tell Drax's group to go with them. Phantom is still running around with his guns drawn. Looks kind of goofy, also makes him look nervous and less threatening. Because he's running around with the guns, but they're all far away. It's really weird. Drax's group is led into a much larger room where there are some more pirates and a pirate ship. A bit of a pirate ship, but you think there's bits of pirate ships, not whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's bits of pirate ship.
It's never really shown in a full view, is it?
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Phantom is watching from a hiding spot above them. He has finally put his guns away. The leader of the Singh Brotherhood, the great Kabai Singh, is played by Hiroyuki Takawa, better known to most as Shang Tsung from the 1995 live-action Mortal Kombat movie. Finish him!
Oh! This was after the Mortal Kombat movie.
It was, yeah. It was about a year after. Now let me see. When was the last time we had visitors here below the ocean's surface, deep in the bowels of this uncharted volcanic island? Never. Congratulations. You pathetic doom fools are the first. Who are these people? My name is Xander Drax. What? Zanderdrax. Xander Drax. Begins and ends with the letter X. From New York City. And you, sir? As long as we're making polite introductions and chit-chat, who might you be?
Here's the great Kabai Singh, leader of the Singh Brotherhood.
Direct descendant of the evil Kabai Singh, first leader of the Singh Brotherhood. You're a long way from New York City. What brings you to this place? Drax foolishly shows Kabai the skulls he has collected. These brought me here. The skulls of Taganda. And what do you know of such matters? Oh, I know about these skulls and the power they contain once all three are united. The two I hold and the one you have there. Look, oh great one, you know I really wasn't in the market for a partner, but it seems to me that we have a mutually beneficial situation here. Think of it this way. You represent the old guard of grizzled scallywags and peg-leg Pete's, while I stand for the new order, NWO, of things. Modern and up-to-date, just the man to carry our cause into the 20th century. Kabai draws a sword and points it at Drax. Silence! You have no bargaining power with me, Mr. New York City. I could kill you and feed your pretty pink ass to the sharks.
Oh. What is with this movie? I'll take him after he's dead. I like your pretty pink ass.
Besides, you don't have the fourth skull. Fourth skull? What fourth skull? What are you talking about? There's no fourth skull. The fourth skull controls the power of the other three. And without it, you've wasted your time and your meaningless New York lives. Kabai orders his men to kill Drax's group. Wait a minute, wait just a minute. If anything happens to us, others will come looking. They know where we are. You'll have an entire army down your throats. Now, do you really want that to happen? Zephyro, one of Drax's men, pulls out a gun from an ankle holster.
No. That's bullcrap. Nobody knows where we are.
What are you doing?
Shut up. Spirit of adventure, my ass. It's every man for himself. Okay, cabby, you get me out of here, or else you're really gonna sleep with the fishes. Now, what are you going to say about that?
Kabai says something in his local language.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just ancient pirate talk for fire the cannon.
Huh?
Zephyro gets blasted across the cave by a cannonball. What an idiot Zephyro was.
He just stood there. He's like, huh? Oh, you're lighting a cannon? Oh, look, the fuse is going down. Uh-oh. I should have moved.
Or shot. Didn't even shoot at Kabai once before he was struck with the cannon. A pointless action. Phantom works his way around the room, jumping onto rooftops. Great Kabai Singh, I am Quill, a loyal follower and soldier. Look, I once killed the Phantom. Join the club. Many of us have killed him over the years, but he keeps coming back. Phantom jumps on the mast above Drax's men. Sulla notices Phantom above them. Phantom gives her the shh symbol. We forgot to mention that Sulla is now good, apparently.
She turns, and for such a stupid reason that I think that's why we just forgot to mention it. Just because, I mean, it's like, yeah, they're driving along in a car, and Diana randomly says to her, oh, you know, why don't you care about anything?
Why are you so mean?
Yeah, why are you so mean all the time? Why don't you care about anything? Like what? I don't know. Think about it. And then she's like, okay, I will think about it. And end scene.
Yeah, like she's turning around like, maybe she's right.
Yeah.
And from there on, she helps her out when the pirates first meet them. Yeah. The pirates try to take Diana for themselves, and she goes back off, and then
knees him right in the groin.
Yeah, she knees him. It's like, she's now good.
Us girls got to stick together.
So Phantom jumps onto the mast above Drax's men. Sulla notices Phantom above them. Phantom gives her the shh symbol. Hey, I can see this Phantom thing really strikes a nerve. In that case, you're going to love this. She's his girlfriend. Bring her here. Pirates grab Diana. Think of the opportunities this presents, Kabai Singh. Ransom, bait, revenge. Phantom has good taste. Good. Personal pleasure. I overlooked that one. So what do you say, Kabai Singh? The girl for the skull, and I'm out of your hair. You pirates need to get out more.
Kabai Singh!
Phantom! Phantom swings down the mast and kicks Kabai. Diana uses the rope to swing back, knocking over pirates. A mass fight breaks out, with Phantom, Sulla, and Diana all fighting pirates. Drax says to his men to run away. Drax grabs the case with the skulls in them, and he and Quill run. Ghost who walks. I'll cut you off at the knees. Kabai and Phantom start to fight. Phantom uses the skull to defend himself against Kabai's sword attack, but then Phantom drops the skull, fights a guy who looks like he's wearing a bad pirate Halloween costume, and takes his sword. Kabai and Phantom then have sword fighting duel. Some of the other pirates try to get involved, but Phantom fights them off. Kabai even stabs one of them, telling him that this is his fight. This is easily the best fight in the movie. I think that one is the best.
Yeah, it's pretty close, yeah.
Phantom loses his sword, so Kabai slowly approaches Phantom. directing him to the water area that has a shark swimming in it. That's not how sharks work, but sure. You're not immortal. I know your secrets, Phantom. Kabai charges at Phantom, but Phantom grabs a chain that is hanging above the water area. This makes Kabai fall into the water. Water is actually shallow when Kabai falls in, as you can see him sitting in the water for a moment, with his legs sticking out of the water, before cutting to a shot of him struggling in deeper water with the shark coming towards him. The shot of Kabai being pulled under by the shark is accidentally hilariously bad looking.
Yeah, that's for sure. Take them to your grave, Kabai Singh.
Phantom wins. Fatality. Other pirates then approach Phantom, so he just whips out his pistols and cocks his guns. Then there is a close-up of Phantom's face. He looks really scared as he is outnumbered. Come on, you're the Phantom, nut up or shut up. Diane throws Sulla, who is now good, a sword to cut a rope. When Sulla cuts the rope, a cartoon-like net falls over the pirates, containing them. I think there are only about 4 pirates. Why would the Phantom be scared of 4 pirates? I'm sure the dual pistols would easily dispatch them.
Maybe he was out of bullets?
Maybe. Why would he cock his gun if he's out of bullets?
I don't know.
Phantom, Diana, and their new best friend Sulla escape the room and head for the entrance of the cave. They find a torpedo shooting device that is made out of old submarine parts. This explains the missing ships, apparently. Phantom. I can't believe I'm saying this. Phantom is going to shoot Diane and Sulla out of the torpedo tubes. But don't worry, Phantom is going to use the periscope to make sure he...
Fire the torpedoes. No, don't fire the torpedoes. Looks like they fired their captain at us.
Phantom is going to use the periscope to make sure he aims at the surface and not into some rocks.
That's nice of him.
Yeah. As Phantom is preparing to fire, he is knocked down by Quill. And in the process, the skull that Phantom was carrying around with him rolls right to Drax's feet. Convenient. Quill and Phantom fight. Then Quill pulls out a knife. Not a big hunting knife, no. A tiny wee knife.
It's not the knife, mate. It's how you use it that counts.
I already killed you. Phantom knocks Quill with the periscope and grabs Quill by the throat up against some pipes.
No, you killed my father.
The 3 skulls merge together in a very mid-90s CGI kind of way. Phantom and Quill continue to fight and knock the launch lever, releasing the sub that Sulla and Diana climbed into.
You've got something that belongs to me.
Phantom takes his dad's belt off Quill. Drax is trying to control the 3 skulls and starts lasering the walls.
Starts lasering the walls.
That's what he does, though, doesn't
Yeah, I know. It's just the way you said it. Starts lasering the wall.
Quill calls out at Drax. When he turns around with the skulls, he lasers Quill, turning them to dust. These skulls are more powerful than I ever imagined. I've harnessed the energy of the sun. Who needs a 4th skull?
I do, and I know where it is. I've worn it all my life for protection. I never really understood what that meant until right now.
There is a chain attached to the sub that Diane and Sulla are in that is unraveling more and more. Ha! What a cheap jungle trick! Drax fires the lasers at Phantom, but Phantom uses his skull ring to deflect and reverse the laser's direction. Drax starts to struggle with the skulls as Phantom gains more and more ground until finally Drax is cooked in 90s CGI flame.
I don't even know if it was 90s. It was like 60s CGI flame.
There is no 60s CGI flame.
That's why it was that bad.
It was real flame back then.
Yeah.
So bad it was real. The chain to the sub fully unravels. Phantom grabs the end of the chain and rides the back of the sub while the cave starts to explode. The sub reaches the surface. Phantom swims towards it and opens the hatch at the top. Phantom, Diana, and Sulla watch as the volcano on the island erupts.
It all began 400 years ago when a small boy saw his father savagely murdered by pirates of the Singh Brotherhood. The same boy swore an oath of vengeance to fight piracy, greed, and cruelty in all its forms, and he became the first Phantom. I'm his descendant, Diana, sworn to carry out his oath. The mantle of the Phantom was passed down from father to son.
But here, has there ever been a daughter instead of a son, a female Phantom?
There has been a son and a daughter at the same time, but I can't tell you if there's been a female Phantom. I don't think there has. But again, this will be one that people can email in and talk about and say whether there has or has not been.
Maybe if they have a daughter, they kill the daughter until they have a son.
It's not violence, man. Come on. God. 20 phantoms came before me, but no one knew that. They all thought that it was the same phantom. They all thought he was immortal. That's why they called him the ghost who walks. Now, I'm not immortal, Diana. I was born right here in this cave and educated in America. But when my father was killed, I came back to take his place.
And one day, your son will take your place.
Yes.
The plane, Mrs. Palmer. The plane, Miss Palmer.
The plane!
The plane for Miss Palmer is waiting. Ghost who walks.
Thank you, Garan.
Does Garan know the truth?
Oh, sure. He just likes to call me that.
Goodbye, devil.
Hey, I'm not a devil, okay? I'm the Phantom.
Goodbye, devil. Take care of your master. I better go. Hey, Kit. I like her.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, get going. Phantom and Diana ride Hero to an awaiting plane. And their new best friend Solo is there.
Yeah. She's not arrested for her crimes? What?
Not punished at all.
Nope.
Before I go, take off your mask. Let me see your face. Kit.
You know, I'm not really permitted to reveal all my secrets, Diana.
You're not? Phantom removes his mask. And yep, Batman returns it. The eye makeup that was clearly around his eyes has vanished. So stupid.
Was Batman Returns after this movie
No,
or
Batman
before?
Returns before. Batman Returns was 92. This was 96. Because Batman Forever was before this film.
Actually, I am, but only to one person.
Who's that?
The woman I intend to marry.
And what if she refuses you?
Then I get the old chain and whips.
No, it's actually not far what he says though. Like,
It's not far off of what he says.
well, hear what he says here.
No one refuses the Phantom.
It sounds like it's
So bad, eh?
goodbye. Diana walks to the plane. The plane takes off as Phantom gets back on his horse. And then the dad has narration at the end here. Leave it to my son to let the perfect woman slip right through his fingers. Fortunately, Diana knew in her own mind and vowed to herself that she would soon return to the Bengala jungle. Maybe then I can get some rest. Seriously? That's how you end the film? Not with Diana asking Solo to land the plane and running into Phantom's arms. No, instead, narration of Phantom Dad saying how Diana knew she would return. Then roll credits. What?
And
What a lame way to finish.
it really was kind of a lame way to finish, wasn't it? Yeah.
End of movie.
Yay!
Right, Jeff. We're just going to go straight into rankings and ratings because that's pretty much what our final thoughts are.
Oh, okay.
What will our final verdict be on this one, Jeff? Let's find out by giving our ratings.
Nobody does it, Bennett.
Right, so we've now done our ratings here, Jeff. Let's go through it from the beginning. Let's go with story. What have you given Phantom 1996 out of 5 stars?
I gave it 3.5 stars.
3.5?
Yeah. I mean, the story is good, but I don't know. I just felt like the skulls were a bit too much because most of the stuff that Phantom deals with isn't mystical. Not that I remember anyway.
Yeah, I've given it 3 stars. I think it's a serviceable story. It doesn't really have, like, I guess if you look really deep, there could be some plot holes here and there. But all in all, it's a pretty tight and simple story where there's 3 skulls, they've got to go fetch them. So I don't hate it. I think it's a good enough story. For acting, Jeff, I've given this one 3 out of 5 stars. I think there's some good actors in there, but not all of them are great.
3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
No, that's what I gave
as
it
well.
too.
Yeah. So we're both getting it 3.
Yeah, and pretty much for the same reason too.
Yeah. Some good actors, but not all of them are great.
Yeah, like for instance, the woman or lady that plays Diana, she's just so forgettable. And to be honest, Diana in general was just such a forgettable character, which is weird because
She didn't do much.
yeah, she makes up a big part of the Phantom universe,
Yeah.
being that she marries him and has his kids.
And like she seems like this big adventurous type of woman, like got the Amelia Earhart kind of look. So I think she's a real adventurer, and she does go from plane to plane, but she doesn't do anything to show you how badass she is or how accomplished she is in any field. Yeah. She's just there, and she just gets. As soon as she leaves, she comes into the story. As soon as she leaves to go to Bengala Jungle, she gets kidnapped. She gets saved. She goes back to New York City. She finds the stone. She gets kidnapped again. So 50% of her story in this is her being kidnapped, if not more. But yeah, Billy Zane, I think he's okay as Phantom with what he does.
Oh, definitely. I strongly agree with Billy Zane's character, with Catherine Zeta-Jones' character, and Trent Williams as Xander Drax.
Yeah.
I liked.
I found him too cartoonishly over the top. I know I was making him sound like a cartoonishly over the top guy on this. Well, sometimes he was like very, moustache twisting kind of bad guy.
Yeah, but I think he was meant to be.
I actually liked, even though he wasn't in it for very long, I thought Kerry Hiroyoku Tagawa was better, but then he died pretty quickly.
Him as Kabai Singh was just awesome. What a quick little thing in there, to have him when you've just seen him not that long ago in Mortal Kombat.
I would have liked him as he was the main villain for the whole thing. I think it would have been really cool. But yeah, Trent Williams, he does what he can with the role, but I think sometimes he gets a little bit too over the top. But I can see why you like him as well. And of course, Catherine Zeta-Jones, she's pretty good in this, but she doesn't get much to do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think a spin-off movie of her would be quite interesting to see what she does. Like a prequel maybe, or a sequel. How well it holds up. What have you given it out of 5 stars?
I put it 4.5 because it has definitely got some really bad CGI moments in it. But if you take out those CGI moments, the rest of it is pretty amazing. That jungle is just breathtaking to look at.
See, I've given it 3. I've got the reason why I said nothing for me was remarkably stunning. Like nothing looked incredibly rich, like some scenes do. Because a lot of it's studio based thing as well, like in sets. But nothing was poorly done either. So that's why I've given it 3 because it's serviceable again to the story. Music, I have given it 2 out of 5 stars.
Ouch.
I think the music is, for a lot of it, is just feels out of place. Like there's ones where it cuts to New York City and it's like, cut to New York City, bloop, 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 bloop. It's just like really weirdly kind of placed music.
I do agree with that. I have actually given it 5 stars because I felt that the music theme for the Phantom really worked. While there was bits and pieces here that was a bit weird, I still felt it worked for those scenes.
I looked at it as there was more I didn't like about it than I did like. That's why I had to go below 3. Otherwise, it'd be service. Like if it had been like balanced, I would have gone 3. But it was more I disliked about it than I liked.
I think that's the reason I went 5 because there was more about it I liked than there was about it that I disliked.
Well, it's very little. Obviously, you didn't like because we gave it 5.
Exactly, but that's what I mean. There was more about it I liked than what I disliked.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just giving you why. But we gave it the same score if you turn my one upside down and turn it around.
Sure, why not?
Visuals, how good it looks. What have you got, sir?
I gave it 4.5 because again, as long as you ignore the weird CGI stuff at the end, because even the CGI stuff at the start's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's noticeable, but it's not very noticeable. But the rest of it, the jungle scenes, some of the fight scenes were a bit weird, but overall, for me anyway, I felt that the visuals were pretty good. Looked more like they tried to go with more realistic looking stuff than they went with CGI.
No, that's fair enough. I've given it a 3. I don't know quite often I forget to actually say the last one on these rankings, but I've given it a 3 because, again, there's nothing that stands out remarkably that being amazing when I look at it and go, wow, I remember that set piece. It looks incredible. But there's none that I look back and kind of go, oh, that was so noticeably bad that I got distracted or didn't like it. For the most part, again, it was just serviceable visuals. So It was okay. It was 90s. I don't think it had a huge budget because a lot of the things I saw, it wasn't massive, but that's why I give it a 3. So out of the, let's go through the rankings we've got so far, sir. So out of story, I gave it 3, you gave it 3.5. Yes. Acting, I gave it 3 and you gave it 3. For how well it holds up, I gave it 3 and you gave it 4.5. For music, I gave it 2 and you gave it 5. For visuals, or how good it looks, I gave it 3 and you gave it 4.5. So you gave it 20.5, I gave it 14. So for a grand total of 34.5 stars. So that's pretty high when it comes to the categories here. Let me just have a look at the rankings here. So for a 34.5, anything between 30 and 39 points equals a really cool movie. So yeah, that's 34.5 stars. This movie was never supposed to be one that blew you away. It's one that I think nostalgia you can play a little bit into if you remember as a kid. But the thing I like about it being not a complete train wreck is the fact that it's a Phantom movie and no one really knows about Phantom, so it's something worthwhile going back to look at if you don't know much about the character, or if you're kind of curious about what superhero films were like before the MCU came out, before X-Men came out, before Spider-Man, with the massive blockbusters. I mean, obviously Batman had already come out in the 90s. With Batman being such success, they tried in other heroes that weren't quite as established, and I think Phantom was one of those goes to kind of give it a go, see what happens. Unfortunately, it didn't do huge numbers, but if you go back and watch it, it's fun.
Yeah, or if you watch it for the first time, you never know. There could be people out there who have yet to have seen it and decide to see it after watching, listening to the review.
It's kind of a forgotten gem sometimes, like not in the way that it's massively great, but if you go back and watch it, you're going to have fun. And I think the cast in it is pretty interesting too. So Catherine Zeta-Jones, you see her back in the day, you're like, wow, she looks so young then. So youthful. You go watch Muscazora Entrapment, you're like, well, she's really good in this. Well, she's not bad in this as well, in the Phantom. So a total of 34.5 stars. That's pretty good for Phantom. Well done, sir. They are actually 4th on the list out of 4, but I imagine they're not going to be at the bottom for very long. So if you'd like to write into the show, who knows, we might read it on air. You can go to Nobody Does It Bennett's Facebook page, or you can hit us up on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. You can also email us at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. You can also go to the NDIB Extras page. That's also available on Spotify. You can get it on YouTube and other podcast outlets. NDIB Extras, Jeff. It's kind of micro-bite kind of episodes. So if you like these ones for an hour and a half, but like I'd rather listen to like a 10-minute episode. Those are perfect for those.
Yeah, they are actually. And we do our own little thing too. We don't just review movies. We review actors and actresses. And we talk about our favourite movies from those actors and actresses. We go through games and how we would like to see them today, if they could be possibly done today. And the other one we do is small screen banter, which will be TV shows and our favourite episodes, our favourite characters, maybe favourite scenes, quotes. And yeah, you can see all that on NDIB Extras.
I also do another podcast called JB's Real Cut for JB Hi-Fi. So if there's another podcast, if you'd like to know about more recent release movies that are available on DVD and Blu-ray from JB Hi-Fi, you can also check out JB's Real Cut. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I think Amazon as well, and a few other outlets. That's JB's Real Cut. Right, Jeff, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been fun going through the Phantom.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it up forward instead of making it like number 20. I really appreciate that.
If people are like, oh, I can't find the Phantom anywhere, we got it off the Xbox store on the Xbox. So if you're looking for it available
on the Microsoft store,
and you don't want to pirate it because this movie shows you that pirates are bad, that you should check it out on the Xbox store. Right, so that's all the time we have for tonight. And remember, some others may do it better, but nobody does it, Bennett. All right, catch you next time.
Thanks. See ya.
It's the end of the show, and now it's time to go. Don't be sad, just be glad that nobody does it, Bennett.